I would like to invite our director, sir, to do the valedictory speech. So Dr. Prabhat Pankaj, as you know, he's our director. He's the main source of inspiration. So I call him a fountainhead from where we get all our directions, inspiration. That is a different matter. He keeps everybody on toes, but probably this is the way he tries to make the best out of us. So over to you, Dr. Prabhat.
Thank you, Anuragji, for your gracious introduction. I hope our students are not scared of the director. So I'm a facilitator basically. And one of my friend who came from Bisubharti some time back, and he asked me, how are you doing as a director? And what is the clue of being a successful director? Uh, I told him that, you do everything but not become a director when you are in the position of director. And that makes you a successful director. So, it's not by position that you should be known. It's by work that you should be known. So people should not know you just as a director of the institute, but people should actually remember you and know you for the work that you have been doing. So I believe in, uh, a kind of work culture which is based on collaboration, cooperation, and helping each other to grow. So I'm a big fan of synergistic development of any individual, organization, and things like that. Thank you very much for the nice introduction that you have, it's a recap that you have given, and recap was beautifully captured every event. Also, it's good to recall what has happened all through the induction program. And this will also give you some kind of idea when you are doing the feedback. This recall is going to help you. What happened in this session, what happened in this session. And it's also a good idea for all of you to make certain notes, and I'm sure you must have made for the speakers, what are the high points that you have learned? Because learning depends on a couple of things, the way you manage your learning. It largely depends on how you manage your learnings. And you should know how you manage your learnings, and you should devise your own way of managing the learning. Say, for example, if you're listening to a speaker, that's the beginning of learning, but it's not the learning per se, because you will realize that if you have heard the speaker very well, you have done a good job, but after a few days, you will realize that you have forgotten everything what he has said, or probably you will remember just one or two things that he has said. You will not be able to recall what he has said, and after a month, you will also forget the name of the speaker. And after a couple of months, you will not be even able to recall what happened in the induction program. So, and that's how what happens to our learning. So where is the learning? So learning is when it endures with you, when it stays with you, when it actually makes you change certain things, certain ways, and when you absorb it. So that's the learning. Learning is not just being present. So being present is the beginning of learning. So you have done a good job to cross the first stage, but how do you organize your learning is very important. So at the beginning of your session, when you're going to start your session, I would like to suggest all of you to learn how you're going to organize. So it largely also depends on individual to individual, how you develop your habit of organizing the learning. But the research and the observation about learning says that the student who is going to listen to the speaker and then also make a few notes, keep that record in the notebook, will write the name, write the occasion, will write few ideas that he has or she has listened to. And the third, if he or she is able to share this idea.
We lost the audio for a while, I guess.
And learning session, or maybe a particular speaker has spoken in life and learning session. So if you can talk about that, so if you cross through all these three stages, your learning actually will go up to 70-80%. And this is the kind of learning you will never forget. So even after 3 months, if you pass through all these three stages, even after 3 months, you will not forget it. And you will see that you have absorbed quite a lot of things. And you will start using those things in your day-to-day, conversation, your ways, when you are making speeches, when you are appearing for interview, you will see that, you will catch hold of those phrases, those ideas, and you will absorb them and you will start using them. So to summarize, three stages of learning for each one of you. One, when you are listening. Second, when you are noting down, because that's equally important, rather more important when you're noting down the highlights and the points. And third, when you're sharing. And sharing is critical because these days we forget sharing. We may be listening, that is an individual activity. We may be noting down, that is also an individual activity. But sharing is not an individual activity. It's a collaborative activity. So, this is where we fail because we fail to collaborate. So, you have to put a lot of emphasis on the third part. So try and forge collaboration between 2 people, 3 people, 5 people, 10 people, 20 people. How you move is your capacity and how you are going to forge this alliance. But this alliance is very important. Even if it is 2 people, try and talk about those things which has happened. And even for the general classroom. So I just remember my days when I was a student in graduation. We were all doing everything in Hindi because I am from Bihar and English was not very popular over there. Uh, so one of my friend said that, if you really want to do good in your life and career, you need to learn English, how to speak English and other things. So what we did, 2 of us, that we formed an alliance, only 2 of us. And we used to give 2 rupees to our peon, and the peon will keep one of the classroom open at the end of the day, and we'll utilize that space, and we'll sit over there and we'll talk only one thing. We'll just talk what happened in the first class, what happened in the second class, what happened in the third class. So if the day had 3 classes, then we'll talk about what is in the first class the professors told us, and what is the content he delivered, what did he speak about. So we'll just talk about that, what has happened in the daytime. And that actually gave us edge on 2 count. One, we became a good speaker. We started talking in English and expression improved. And second, that we also started developing our knowledge of the subject. So it actually worked fabulously for us. And to everybody's surprise, you will know, if I tell you that, the students around us, they got so much affected and interested in what we were doing. They started requesting us to join the group. And you know what? After a couple of months, we were at least 40 students joined the whole group voluntarily. And we were all started managing our discussions like that. So, if I look back my own life journey, how I learned in my life at different stages, I find that is the collaboration that helped me learning better. I could have done a lot better, as an individual. I learned a lot, but as collaboration, learning from peer has been the high point, and it's very, very important, and that's why it has not come from any theory that I'm talking about. It has straight away come from my own life experience. That's why I'm sharing with you that it has worked for me, and it is definitely going to work for you. And I have seen many students in my career of about 29 years of teaching now. So I started my career of teaching in 1991, when I see that many students who have actually listened and started following this, they have been able to transform themselves completely in terms of learning. What is going to transform you is the learning. So learning is very important. In post-COVID time, you have heard a lot of speakers, and the crux of what they have spoken is your agility to understand the change situation and adapt to that. So if today, if somebody is sitting at home or, just thinking about, what to do, how to adapt, I'm not very proficient in computer, how will I do this, how will I do that? Uh, just procrastinating about what is happening around, and then also procrastinating and blaming, oh, this something has to happen to me only. Why 2020? When I'm going to do MBA, this has happened. So I'm so bad luck, is around me. Why it is to me only? You can do all this kind of procrastination, but if you have heard all the speakers very carefully, you must have understood that procrastinating is not going to help. You have to start responding to the situation. So what we mean by the responding to the situation is you have to adapt, be agile to understand what is around you, take it as it is, the way it is, right? And see what best you can do, and what is going to happen next in your profile. How will you cope with the situation? What is the best you can do? So it's all the work plan that you create for yourself matters, rather than your procrastinating about the situation and blaming the fate is not going to help. So it's all about how you do your things. When you start doing, things start changing. But if you don't start doing, it will not change. But if you're really asking for change and doing nothing, that's a mismatch. So when you are asking for change and you want to do something better, you have to start doing better. Because the moment you start doing better, you become better. That's very simple fundamental rules. And in COVID time, agility is very important. And we have been speaking about Hummingbird as an example of agility. In Jaipuria, we started our leadership meet with Hummingbird example of agility. And we also kept the title of our leadership meet this year as Agile like Hummingbird. So Hummingbird, I'll just take a few minutes more if I'm allowed. And can I share a PPT, Anuragji? Just
Yes,
to
you
show.
can. I'm just giving you a co-host, right?
Yeah, please give me the host right, so that I can share this PPT. I just want
You
to
can
show them
do it
something.
now, sir.
Yeah, I can do that. Okay,
Yes.
so let me just share. Okay, so here is the hummingbird for you. These are the characteristics of hummingbird. Full of energy. Do you think that energy is important? Yeah, of course it is important, because if you don't have energy, you have nothing actually, I'll tell you. And energy is a choice. And don't think that the energy depends on somebody external stimuli. It has to come from within. You have to be energetic all the time, and you have to take a decision that you will be energetic, nothing less than that. So your energy is going to define your way. And people with energy, bubbling with joy, energy, and it's written all over their faces. When you meet such people, it's written all over their faces that they are very positive, energetic, bubbly, joyful. And you will see that these people actually bring about better results. And for anybody, for you and me, if I have to make a choice between two person to be hired, I will hire a person who has energy reflected from their face. It should be oozing down from your face, your words, your behavior, your body language, everything. So you have to be energetic, joyful, renewal. Renewal means, taking quick decisions of change, peace, affection, awareness, loyalty, agility, vitality, endurance, and healing. All these are the properties of hummingbird. I find that the property of hummingbird is what we actually look at very seriously. I'm not saying that you be everything that hummingbird is, but try and look at the merit in how these things actually can change your whole thing. And if you look at hummingbird from the leadership perspective or leadership point of view, the strategic thinking is very important. And that's what I take Jaipuria as an example. And I can see how it fits into the whole scheme of hummingbird effect of leadership, which is portrayed here in this picture. So you can see strategic thinking. We have been doing strategic thinking. We have 5 different scenarios and we are ready for any scenario, what is going to happen. We have taken the things as it is. There is a lot of persistence we have shown. We have changed our plans time and again. We are meeting so often and we are trying to look at what is going right, what is going wrong, and we want to change that. And we are ready to accept what has gone wrong. Your dean has rightly said when he remarked that it was not in our control, and there were at least three occasions we could not cope so properly because of the circumstances. We have to agree, we have to accept that yes, this is where things did not work, this is where the things have worked, and that's the way forward to do the best. Result orientation, so you have to focus on the result orientation, that suppose the Jaipuria has actually decided that there should not be any loss of learning. that is the result we were looking for. Any change that we do, any exercise that we do is meaningless if it doesn't result into learning for you. And that is the objective. So have we achieved that result? Yeah, of course, to a larger extent, I can see that, we have been able to provide learning to our students and their doorstep, learning at their doorstep through online. And that is what we wanted. And then we focused on this and we started working on that. Character. You need a lot of character for this. You cannot just sulk. You cannot just sit back. You cannot just say, oh, I'm a little tired. Let me do it tomorrow. I remember the way we have slogged day in and day night, our whole lot of faculty, wonderful faculty and the staff. You'll be surprised the kind of preparations and detailing they have done for safety measures and everything. Each detail, line by line, word by word, single things, we have not missed out. And it must have taken a lot of toll. And many statements we have also made like that. And I also felt that when the college was going in full swing, the kind of number of hours that we have been putting and the work that we have been doing is far less than what we are putting it today, where the college is not working physically. So when we are working from home, the amount of work has actually increased for us several times. And we are never behind putting the effort over there. That is what the character is all about. The character is about the fact that, you have a larger goal in mind, because our larger goal was to provide the learning to our student, and that actually made us work. So I have a friend, let's say, I'll just give you another example of how you can take some clue from what I'm talking about the character. So, I have a friend, he's a doctor, and he is a doctor who takes care of diabetic patients. So I asked him, what do you do? He said, I treat diabetic patients. And then he's also said that I have an objective, I have a goal, that I want to make the whole city free from diabetic. That was not something that he should have made this statement, because that's not his job to see that he keeps this particular objective of making the city free of diabetics. That was not called for, because as a doctor, his job is to treat the patient, and he's doing that very well. So, if somebody asks you, what are you doing? And then you say, I'm a professor, or I'm an MBA student, or I'm an engineer, oh, that works. So there is nothing more you have to say. But there are people who will say something more than that. So as a teacher, if somebody says, oh, I'm a teacher, but I want to see that, the students learn better. That's my objective. So that's what the character is all about. So as a student, when you say I'm an MBA, what is that additional statement that you would like to make for yourself? Is just a student who is looking for a degree, or you want to make certain impact, certain change, or you have something at the back of your mind that you want to pursue, and that's part of your character. That's how it is all about. A lot of flexibility we need to have, we all know. It depends on personal development, a lot of personal development. That is the beginning and the end of what you're going to achieve. Personal development is very important. Unless you sharpen your axe, you cannot cut the tree. That's for sure. But if you really want to cut the entire jungle and clean up the whole lot of trees, you need to sharpen your axe several times. It's not that after cutting one tree, the same axe can be used to cut 100 trees. So if you really want to cut 100 trees, you may have to sharpen your axe at least 10, 20 times. Then only you can cut 100 trees. What I mean to say is that if you really want to do better in life, a bigger objective in life, bigger job in life, you have to sharpen your skills 100 times, right? Anything that comes your way to add your personal development, your skill should be welcome. If somebody is teaching you foreign language, grab it. If somebody is teaching you digital space, grab it. If somebody is telling you what AI is all about, grab it. These should be taken as an opportunity, because you never know what kind of, tools is going to help you in climbing the mountain. So, when you're climbing the mountain, you need a lot of tools. So, what kind of tool is going to help you? Personal development is very important. Agility is important, because when you are focusing on the present, the changes, your agility, a lot of managing the things, you have to have a lot of intuition. So, that's the hummingbird effect of leadership. But I find that these are very relevant things that we are talking about. Talking about hummingbird further, it is said that each bird must sing with its own throat. You should not, depend on others' skill or others' ability. Your ability should be your own. When you are speaking, it should be coming from your heart. It should be your own thoughts. You should be a little original in what you are talking about. The whole idea here is that when it is said that each bird must sing with its own throat, you have to have your own way of doing things. So don't lose out on the originality. So one more, quote is very, I don't know whether it is visible to you or not. It's a little blurred. Rumi has said this. Rumi is a great philosopher of our time. And he said that only from the heart can you touch the sky. So he said that, when you're trying to touch the sky, it's not by the wing that you can touch the sky. It is only by the heart that you can touch the sky, right? So it's very important that how you throw yourself into it. Are you working from heart or are you working from mind? That makes a hell lot of difference in defining you. So, as a person, if somebody looks at you, if you're working from heart, he is going to look at you very differently. And if you're working from mind, the whole world is going to look at you very differently. And you will see the way people start treating you, looking at you, and taking you on their stride will change, completely if you start working from heart rather than working just from the mind. The last one, the Buddhist saying is, if you want to know your past, you look at your present conditions, right? And if you really want to know your future, look into your present actions, right? So what are the two things that is important? One is present condition, but that your present conditions can define only your past. It's not going to build much on for you. So never bother about what present condition you are in. What you should be bothered about is what is your present action, right? Because what you are going to do today will be the future that you are asking for. So if you're really asking for some future, you must start, designing your present action according to that, right? If you want to be a CEO in the future, you have to start acting like a CEO today. Because if you start acting like a CEO today, then there is a possibility that you can become CEO tomorrow. But if you're not acting like a CEO today, there's no possibility that you can be a CEO tomorrow. So, the idea is that it's your action today which is going to define you. It's your action today which is going to define you. Your action today which is going to, clear the path for you. What you do today matters so much that is actually going to define who you are going to be in the times to come, right? So I'm not, a big fan of, Hegel when he, the political philosopher, when he said that it is your consciousness that determines your existence. How you're going to live on this earth in times to come is going to determine by the way you think who you are today. So your whole consciousness is going to build what you are going to become in your.
So we got some internet issue again.
No, I'm a big fan of Professor Hegel. And in fact, we have seen people rising from the rags. And those people who have risen from the rags and have made a big difference are the one who actually strongly believe that it's the idea, it's the consciousness, it's imagination, is their actions in present is the one which is the differentiator, nothing else, right? So at some point of time, you have to keep your heart alive and keep on beating. And wear happiness, wear a smile on your face, be confident, talk boldly, raise your head always. Don't allow your shoulder to suck down. People should not think that, even if you're facing a lot of problem in life, you should not reveal it to others. The others should not come to know that, you are facing so much of a problem. Your show must go on and you should be standing bold in front of the world. And that is the kind of people who are valued so much in this world. So, I wish you all the best. You're starting a new life, a new journey in your life. And this is a very critical point you are at. And MBA is going to, define the way you are going to do MBA is going to define who you are going to be in times to come. So excellent. I have my all the wishes to you. I can guarantee you, you have the support of all our wonderful faculty. They're all with you all the time. Your peers should be together. You should mobilize your peers and start engaging with them and start taking things forward. Believe in the impact of peer learning, believe in the way that is ahead of you, and believe that you can do better. Thank you so much. And thank you, Anuragji, for this opportunity to address our young students.